What's going on, you guys? Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys all so much for tuning back in for another recap, and let's jump right into it. So, this is how the NASDAQ looked on the day today, and as you guys can tell, today was without a doubt definitely a roller coaster of a day. The NASDAQ ended up having this really nice gap up, right? Very bullish, going all the way up to highs of 11,231. And right after that, ends up finding these lower highs and goes on a tear, right? After that, it goes on a big bearish run, just the exact opposite, right? And it fell a decent amount. This is a pretty significant drop, only for it to find a bottom right around here at the bottom VWAP, and for it to actually find a support and bounce and start kind of heading up again. And after that, it did get rejected a little, and we're trading right around the middle VWAP, this pinkish line here. We're trading right above it just a bit, and yeah, so definitely a roller coaster of a day. Today I was green, thankfully. And if you guys will notice, my order is definitely the opposite of yesterday. Like I said, I overtraded for sure yesterday, and I was not happy about that. So today I definitely made sure to limit my trading and only kind of look for the trades I thought were pretty good in terms of their quality, right? I didn't want to keep getting in and out for these little nickels and dimes, right? So I basically did the opposite of that. Today I only had 18 filled orders, and my biggest trade was this one right around here. It was my last day trade of the day. As you guys can see, we did end up loading up on two more shares of Tesla I'll talk about. But just to summarize everything, I'm gonna basically do a little recap on the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ right around here was market open at 6:30, and it was trading right kind of around the middle VWAP, right? And we didn't know whether we were gonna start getting a push up or down. That's why I kind of want to hold off a bit when the market opens. I gave it like 5 minutes, as you can see, before I took my first trade. But yeah, so I just want to walk through how I was able to be green today and what led me to think that it was going to be a TQ's day. Obviously, it did end up going on a bit of a bearish run after that, but originally, why did I think there could be a nice gap up? And the reason for that is all on the technicals, right? If you look at the 5-day, 5-minute for the NASDAQ, this was heading into the market open right around, where is it? Right around this general area right here, right? 6:30 in the morning. And basically leading into it, look at this consistent pattern, right? The NASDAQ has continuously been riding this green line, this SMA line here. It's been riding it for higher highs and higher lows, right? It's been using it to find a support off of. And anytime it pushes higher, comes back down, it tends to kind of find a bottom right around here and push up even higher, right? It's been a very consistent pattern. And going into the market open right around here, this area, I definitely wanted to go with that pattern, right? It'd be my best interest to go with direction. And so I did take a few red trades at the start because I was trying to get into TQs. My first trade was a TQs play, as you can see, but I did end up getting stopped out because, like I told you, I did see potential for it to end up starting to bottom out and kind of run, but I didn't know where the bottom was going to be, right? So I started buying into TQs right around this general area when I saw some type of support, right? There was not a bunch of red candles and NQ was not selling off drastically. Anytime NQ would come down a bit, it would try and find a support, right? That's why there's some green candles mixed in there. And it was really doing a good job of trying to not die so hard, right? It really kept trying to form these nice support levels. So I did get caught in a few of them. Um, and I did take a loss on them, but it was this specific candle here where I was able to make the majority of my profit today, and it was within the first half an hour the market was open. And right after I saw a nice big green candle form again, I decided to take another TQ's entry, and I didn't want to add to my entry until I got confirmation that this actually wanted to break out, right? There's no point in adding to it. Let's say I got in somewhere right around here at the bottom after there's a nice little green candle. If I got in originally here, there's no point in adding to it anywhere here. Although it is pushing up, it could very easily just find another lower high, right? And start getting rejected, coming back down here again. But what led me to want to add was that it finally broke above this blue EMA line. It was trying to kind of use as a resistance. It broke above it now, and that's indicating to me that that pattern can change now, right? It's no longer valid. It's no longer just getting rejected off of here. So I decided to add another quarter of my position as it was breaking above the blue EMA line. and as it started to go, I continued to add one more time. So I was in with 3/4 of my position, and when it popped kind of close to this greenish SMA line here where it could be a resistance, I decided to sell. Now, why did I sell there? Obviously, we got a nice pop, right? This was a nice little run here, and because it pushed up so quick and we were approaching that SMA line, I just didn't want to risk it, and I wanted to do my part in locking in the majority of my shares because I was in kind of heavy. So I didn't want to lock in the majority shares here in case it used the green SMA line now as a resistance and started to want to come back down. But ultimately that didn't happen, and it did end up validating this same pattern, right? That's why we ended up getting this nice rally all the way up. But if you guys will notice, after it does have a nice rally to the top VWAP, the NASDAQ tends to, when it approaches this area, become a little more overbought and start to sell off. And today we saw a drastic version of that, right? Did a nice job of breaking out above the top VWAP, but it did get overbought. And once it fell back down below the top VWAP, ends up trying to run again, but unfortunately gets rejected right around there, right? It found a lower high here. The high here was not higher than the previous high it just formed, right? It started forming these kind of lower highs, and ultimately we started to see a big sell-off. So today was a big roller coaster because although we're only up $20 on the day, our account was fluctuating greatly, right? Pretty tremendously. We're up at some points on the day around $130 to $150, and then obviously when the tears happened, right, when it started to drop a ton, then obviously we ended up actually going into the red on the day and started going red pretty decently, right? We're down like $50 and everything like that, but it was my green day trading that allowed our account to kind of not lose much money today. I mean, we didn't lose any, but we didn't really make much money either. So yeah, so that was just my take on the NASDAQ. I wanted to show you guys, if you pay attention to the larger time frames, you can kind of see these potential moves play out. And although it's hard to kind of try and time them, that's why you stay patient and you wait for the right kind of signs and confirmations to allow you to actually get in, because you could have kept thinking TQs was going to rally and rally and rally, and it could have continued to just keep selling off and just, yeah, basically making lower lows and lower highs, right? You can't be so one-sided ever. If this thing kept selling off the NASDAQ, if it kept looking bearish, then obviously I was going to do my part to get into SQQQ, right? Because that potential play we saw where it tended to bounce off and run, it was no longer going to hold. But because we were seeing this somewhat type of support, and it was especially right around here when it was able to actually break above the SMA line and break this kind of resistance area it was forming, that's when it really started to run, right? So you just want to be on the lookout for that. And in terms of our last two trades, as you can see, Tesla, we just bought 2 more shares on it of it because it has been dying a lot, and we definitely don't advise you guys to copy us at all. This thing could definitely keep dying. It has been a lot, but the reason we just bought in 2 more shares was because me and my brother just really believe in the company. We really believe in Elon and the hard worker that he is, and we really think he's going to be doing some big things. Lots of value in this company we see, so that's why we wanted to do it. But like we just said, maybe not the best thing to buy in like we just did, because the market can keep tearing. This is how it looks on the 180 day. It's at lows, right? The past half a year it's at lows. This is how it looks in the past year. Wow, it's even hit lows for the full year. So Tesla obviously looking more on the lower side of the charts, and me and my brother, it is a company we do find value in, so we did want to just load up on 2 more shares as it continues to drop. And we're still not in heavily invested at all. We're only in kind of like around a quarter of what we plan to be in with, so that's why we're fine loading up a bit more. We're not in aggressively or anything like that, so we are keeping that risk management in check. So that's just it, guys. That's it for the recap today. It was a pretty exciting election day, right, for the market today, and Thursday will be another CPI data report. That's definitely what you guys want to be on the lookout for. That can definitely have a great impact on the markets, and I'll make sure to cover that on Thursday for my day trade. So thank you guys all so much for watching. It's been amazing having you guys. I hope you guys learned something from the video, and like I just said, make sure to keep an eye out for Thursday's CPI data report. I will be covering it, so if you guys want to make sure you guys kind of hear about it, definitely don't forget to tune back in on Thursday night. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.